This is one of his practice laps from earlier this week, from Friday, from the final session. We're just coming into Union Mills, and just keep an eye on Dean's left hand, because as you see, we're coming down through Union Mills, one of the fastest, scariest parts of the course, and he's just really casually adjusting the brake pressure on the left hand side with one hand off the handlebars. Which I cannot even think about taking my hands off the handlebars whenever I'm doing half that speed. And he's just fiddling with the brake pressure, just getting it right, all the way down through into Ballingarry, one of the scariest corners in the course. I think it's fair to say that Dean's pretty confident, pretty comfortable this week on that bike, which weirdly, let's let it play in the background, which weirdly is not actually a Superbike, even though he's running it in the Superbike class, because over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of the guys, starting with Peter Hickman and Davey Todd, now Dean as well, has realised that actually Superbikes aren't the fastest way to go around the TT course. They're a little bit too stiff, they're a little bit too uncomfortable, they're a little bit too geared for short circuit racing, and a lot of the guys now are using what's essentially a superstock frame, Superbike brakes so that it stops, a little bit of a tuned engine that wouldn't meet superstock regulations, but it's a lot closer to the production bike than than the bells and whistles Superbike. We saw Michael Lenop try to run a V4 Ducati Panigale that is absolutely dominating the Superbike class everywhere else in the world, and he's parked it. He's back in the Honda, because the Honda, the slow old bike that does nothing in World Superbikes except break its riders, is the bike to have around the TT, as Dean showed us this week. So interesting. It comes back to this thing where really the TT, we think of the TT as being Superbike racing because they're riding Superbikes, but it's like saying that rallying and touring cars are the same thing because they both use family saloon cars as the base. It's like saying that Dakar and motocross are the same thing because they both use 450 motocross basic bikes. They're different sports. You approach them in different ways, you ride it in different ways. And I think we're seeing that more and more, that while it looks like Superbike racing, it's really not. It's really a different thing. I mean, all you have to do to see the difference is stand Peter Hickman next to Mark Marquez. And one of them is, there's a bit of difference. There's a bit of difference. John McGuinness is not Danny Pedrosa. That's an overstatement. Guys, do any of you have questions?